How many titles in Red Dead series has been released so far? What was the Metascore of the games? In what year and what platforms was each title released? What was their production budget and how many did they sell? And finally, how many hours does it take to finish each version of the games? Hi guys, I'm Sina. Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I want to tell you about Red Dead game series. Please stay with me. Thank you. Red Dead Revolver, release 2004, platforms PS2, Xbox, meta 74, cost unknown, sell 920,000 copies, time to complete the game, story mode 7 hours, side missions 1 hours, completionist 90 hours. Around 2000, Angle Studio, supervised by Capcom, was developing a game called Red Dead Revolver. The game was to be published by Capcom 2 years later. In 2002, Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar, acquired Angle Studio and turned it into a subsidiary of Rockstar Games and renamed it Rockstar Santiago. After that, Rockstar Games executive began to review the newly acquired studio projects to see what was worth keeping. A game set in the West World caught their attention, but the problem was that the rights of the game belonged to Capcom. Rockstar Games eventually decided to invest the game, and after buying the rights from Capcom, they handed over the development to Rockstar Santiago, or the former Angle Studio. The game told the story of a bandit hunter named Red, who was trying to avenge the murder of his parents. Like many third-person games of the time, Red was able to use various weapons and explosives, take cover behind most objects in the environment, and even deal with the people during the game. Red Dead Revolver wasn't a bad game, but the main problem was that the game was made by Rockstar. If any other studio had made it, it would have been considered an acceptable or even good game. But according to critics and gamers, the game was a disappointing game compared to other games that made by Rockstar. The game received an average score of 73 and it didn't even reach 1 million copies sold, which is not satisfactory for a new IP from Rockstar. But fortunately, Rockstar saw a lot of potential in the Red Dead universe, which led to the creation of the masterpiece called Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption, release 2010, platforms PS3, Xbox 360 at launch, and PS4, PC, Nintendo Switch in 2024. Meta 95, cost $100 million. Sell 23 million copies. Time to complete the game: main story 80 hours, side missions 8 hours, completionist 46 hours. In 2005, Rockstar Santiago began working on the second game of the Red Dead franchise. This time, their team with about 800 people was much larger than the first game, and Rockstar also has full oversight of the project from the beginning. A budget of about $100 million was set for the game and make Red Dead Redemption one of the most expensive games ever made. The developer's main goal was to create an open-world game set in the Wild West. Given the large number of people and sufficient budget, the game development team did a lot of research and to create such a world by many real films and photos. A dynamic and beautiful world in which the player can freely explore, complete side missions, and even enjoy natural scenery. The story of Red Dead Redemption is set in 1911. The story about a character named John Marston. At first, we see John being arrested and separated from his family. The deal that the government offers him is relatively simple. He must hunt down all the remaining members of his old criminal group to be free. In terms of gameplay, story, and technical and visual graphics, we are dealing with a much better game than the Red Dead Revolver. The wide west world of Red Dead Redemption was highly praised by critics and gamers when it was released. The dead eye mechanic was back, and overall, we witnessed more complex shooting mechanics. Also, the game's honor system changed based on the player action, and the game character interaction with John were influenced by this system. An online multiplayer section was also included in the game, which was welcomed by gamers. Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. Release 2010. Meta 87. Platforms PS3, Xbox 360. Build cost unknown. Sell 2 million copies. Time to complete the game: main story 6 hours, side missions 2 hours, completionist 12 hours. Welcome to one of the strangest expansion packs in the history of video game industry: Zombies in the Wild West. In the same year the Red Dead Redemption was released, Rockstar gave John a big surprise for fans. That was John's job change to zombie killing. The story of Undead Nightmare begins when John returns home after completing his mission to herd cattle with his wife and son and continue his normal life. But unfortunately, an epidemic has spread throughout the region that turns ordinary people into zombies. John also sees his family that has turned into zombies and intend to kill him. He, by tying Abigail and Jack hand and foot and locking them in the house, and goes to Blackwater to find the medicine. The ideas of zombies in the world of Red Dead may not have even crossed the mind of the most optimistic fan of the game. But the Rockstar San Diego team has used this story conflict so carefully and cautiously that it has made everyone admire. The strange and illogical elements of this horror genre story model and the humor created by the control of this fictional element with the realistic nature of the game, along with references and sarcasm to political, social, and religious issues, show the peak of genius of the writing team and leave no room for discussion and complaint about the story of the Undead Nightmare. This game, like the original version, shone brightly and raised the expectation for the next version of the series higher. If you liked the video so far, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Red Dead Redemption 2. Release 2018. Platforms PS4, Xbox One, PC. Meta 97. Cost $250 million. Sell 67 million copies. Time to complete the game: main story 50 hours, side missions 33 hours, completionist 157 hours. After the success of the first version of Red Dead Redemption, work on the second version began immediately. Naturally, expectations for the second version were greatly increased, and Rockstar had a more difficult task ahead than the previous version. With a budget that was 2 to 3 times larger and a time commitment of 8 years, they managed to do it well and giving us one of the most complete games in history. The game takes place in 1899, 12 years before the event of previous version. The main character of the story has also changed, and we play the role of Arthur Morgan and his criminal gang. The critics' opinion of the game was excellent, so much so that it received a complete score in most reviews, and with a score of 97 on the Metacritic side, it ranked 9th among the best computer game of all time. The gamer's reception was no less than the critics. The game became profitable in the first week of release with sales of $700 million, twice its production budget within a few days. By beginning of 2025, with sales of 67 million copies, it was the 7th best-selling game in history, and including the revenue from its online section, It estimated that the game profit have exceeded $5 billion. There is nothing but praise for the game. Beautiful graphic, excellent soundtrack, captivating story, and deep character development. The game world is beautiful and detailed, and the side missions are attractive and engaging. The best description of the game that can be said, I read in GameFAQ website, which I would like to read to you. It doesn't matter what style of game you like, or what franchise you are a die-hard fan of. It doesn't matter if you are a professional gamer or a novice. It doesn't even matter if you are interested in computer games or not. Red Dead Redemption 2 has come to make everyone, young and old, fall in love with itself and the wonderful world of video games. Red Dead Redemption 2 has come to teach all game companies, from large or independent. Red Dead Redemption 2 has come to make you fall in love with the world of Wild West. If you are a story-oriented gamer, if you love crazy shooting, if you are fascinated by role-playing games, and even if you are not a gamer, do not deprive yourself of Red Dead Redemption 2. Thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.